Howdy, howdy everybody. We're back in the garage and today we're going to be painting this Chevy Express van. This is a high top van. So this van we're going to have to paint the roof. We've got that all prepped out and primered, sanded, ready to be painted, but I'm going to break it up here. I'm going to paint this side because we got to do this door and blend into the quarter panel and the front door. So we'll do this side first and then tomorrow we'll be doing the roof. And I'll probably make a video on that as well. So yeah, we got it all masked up. This just had some peeling paint. I do have to sand a little spot right here. I'll show you what we used. I used some of this Colad UV putty just to fill a little chip there. And this stuff works out great for small stuff like that. So we just did a video on the 817, but today I'm gonna spray PRD 815 1.2 tip. I really like this gun. This is like one of my new favorite guns. I really like the way it sprays, and it's all because of that 1.2 tip. I'll walk you through using sealer, how to blend your base coat, how to use a color blender when you're working on a high metallic finish like this, a real fine metallic finish, and how to get those metallics to lay down flat and smooth so you have a nice transition in your blend. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a little 320. I don't like using 320 because I don't want to get 320 grit scratches, but we're gonna go over it with 600. So I'm gonna just block this out, kind of keep it small. We are gonna seal this as well, so that'll help fill some of those minor fine scratches.
53.
You can still feel that edge. This putty, one thing about this putty, it's really hard. Now we'll switch over to the 600. All right. So that's good. Now we need to wash this down. I don't really want to blow this out. I don't want to create dust out here, so I'm going to just kind of dust it off and then we're going to wash it. I am going to have to blow out that crack a little bit. So now we got some isopropyl alcohol. So when we seal this, the one thing I don't like about sealer is when you've got gaps here, like we've got the gaps all taped off inside, but that sealer will get in those gaps and sometimes the paint won't get in there to cover the sealer. So you kind of got to be careful with that. So I'm going to show you a little trick where we can cover that gap just temporarily while we spray the sealer. Put a little bit of foam tape in here. We'll spray our sealer and then we'll pull that. And then when we apply our base, it'll cover the sealer that went in that gap. We'll finish wiping this down with the isopropyl alcohol and then we'll mask it up for sealer. Okay, Darius mixed up a little bit of sealer for us. And the way this sealer mixes up, I'll show you the sealer we used. U-Pol 2253V is what we used. The V means we can use this product as a sealer. It's all about the mixing ratio. So for sealer, we mix it up 4 parts primer, 1 part activator, and then 2 parts urethane reducer. We go to the 4 to 1 to 1 mixing ratio here. We put in our primer to this first one. We went over to the 1 column. We filled it up from that one to this one with activator. Now we got to double up on this last 1 column. So we filled it up to the 1 and then we doubled it. And that's 2 parts. So now we got the proper mixing ratio. We'll do it just like that. Now when we seal it, no sealer gets in the jam. We'll pull that foam tape and then we can spray our base and a little bit will get over the edge of the jam and cover the sealer. Right now we're just going to run a tack cloth over it, remove any particles, dust that might have landed on it. I'll probably use a little air to blow it off. Let's lay down some sealer. With this gun, I use about 14 psi with the sealer. I don't need to put it on super heavy either. All right, now let's go ahead and peel this. There we go. We'll let that flash off. I'll share with you how we use a color blender so we get a nice transition in our base coat. Okay, so this is our color blender. This is transparent base coat. There's no pigments, no color in it. It's just the transparent part of base coat, which is basically just binder. So you mix this. We mixed it right here. And what we did is we did 2 parts of the clear blender, and then we put 1 part in of just urethane reducer, just to thin it out a little bit, because this is a really thick product. And that's all ready. So now we're gonna mix up the color. It mixes up 2 to 1. So we'll go to the 2 column, put in the amount of paint, which is right there. Right here, 2 to 1 mixing ratio. We put 2 parts of paint in. So we gotta go to the 1 column and fill it up to the 2 with reducer, and that gives us a 2 to 1 mixing ratio. And we're almost out of reducer.
Shake it.
Boom. All right, we got this locked and loaded, ready to go. We're going to use the same air pressure as we did with the sealer, right about there, which is about 14. 3 turns out from closed on the fluid volume, which is this knob here. And we're just going to go over both these panels with this clear base. Once I do that, I'm going to come back, I'm going to switch over to the color real quick. We've already got our color mixed up, and I'll put 1 coat of base on it. So they melt into the clear base coat, lay flat. This just creates a foundation for our base coat to lay in and lay flat. So it's called a wet bed. Some people call it color blender. We don't have to clean out the gun. All right, see, now it's nice and wet. Now when we spray this metallic, it'll lay flat in that foundation. I'm gonna bump up the air pressure a little bit. Gonna do a little drop coat here. We'll put another coat on, so we'll let that flash off and then add another coat. All right, it's looking pretty good. The color is just a touch off, nice and smooth. What we're looking for is any rough areas in where the sealer was, and it looks pretty decent. I'm gonna put one more coat on it. I think we'll be good for some clear coat. Now when I blend it, I turn my wrist, and then I'll just do a dust coat like this. Now I'll come off it a little bit and we'll do a drop coat. I'll lower the air pressure just a little bit. I'll go different directions. I'll go this way, and then this way. That's just for orientation of the metallics, and now look how nice that looks, nice and uniform. I think we're ready for some clear coat. So we're just gonna clean the gun, run some thinner through it. Brush it out. All right, we're gonna use the FC710, the spot panel clear coat. Better put a liner in there or we could have a mess. Not that I've ever done that before. We're gonna go with 4 parts. I don't know if that'll be quite enough. Slow hardener. So 4 column. Now we'll go to the 1 column and we'll fill it up to the 4 for our activator. It's all sealed up. All right, we're laying down the clear. We're gonna go with 2 coats of clear. We'll put 1 on and then we'll let it flash off for about 15 minutes. So we're letting it cure. We're letting those chemicals evaporate out of that clear coat, and then we'll be able to apply a 2nd coat of clear. If we don't allow that clear coat to flash off and let some of those chemicals evaporate, you can get solvent pops, which is little dots in your paint job or in your clear coat, and those are very difficult to remove. So make sure you follow the proper flash times for the product you're using. We're gonna set this at about 20 PSI, 19, 20 PSI on this particular gun. We're gonna overlap our passes 70 to 80%. Fluid volume is 3 turns out from closed. And you wanna have a consistent speed and a consistent distance when you're spraying. So you wanna keep that distance from the panel consistent all the way down the panel. I really like the way this gun sprays clear. I usually spray about 4 to 5 inches away. And we're going to spray this clear like we want it to look. And I never end right on the edge of the panel. I always go past it. And you don't want to end right on that gap. You want to go past it. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Losing track. Haven't done is this. So the whole time I'm painting this side of the panel, I'm just debating with myself about this color. I'm not satisfied with it. It doesn't look right. So we're just gonna go ahead and respray this with the roof when we spray that roof tomorrow. I'm gonna find the correct color and share with you how we correct this in the next episode. These mishaps are all part of the painting process. I didn't do a spray out on this. I was in a hurry, I matched up the color. It looked close enough for a blend, but in reality, when we started laying the color, it just wasn't up to my standards. This will all be corrected when we paint that top. This just shows you the importance of doing a proper spray out when you're matching up the color. Check out the next episode when we correct this color and we spray the top of this fan. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. If you're looking for a digital guide to walk you through the entire process of using body filler, how to spray clear coat, how to blend metallics, and many other topics, I've got digital guides available for you at GarageNoiseGear.com. Appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise.